This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, UAAP Season 87. NU edges out UST in thriller, sweeps women's volleyball first round. Ginebra holds off TNT in PBA Finals. Game 2 survives a brickfest. Petecio earns another honor but stays focused on Olympic gold. In the NBA, Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves lead the Lakers past the Suns to snap their losing streak. While the Blazers catch fire from deep as they stun the Raptors with a comeback win. And check out what Lions Nation MMA is working on to amp up their game with Coach Gibran Langbayan. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 17th of March. Now here's our roundup. What a race. Lando Norris stormed to victory in a dramatic season opener down under, holding off a relentless Max Verstappen to clinch the win in Australia. The British driver was on and would be lurking, and he was right. Ferrari will be looking for answers and fast as the season quickly moves to China next week. The second race of the year kicks off at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on March 23. Buckled up, F1 fans, this season is already delivering. The NU Lady Bulldogs just made a statement. National University completed a clean sweep of the first round of the UAAP Season 87 Women's Volleyball Tournament after outlasting the University of Santo Tomas in a 5-set blockbuster at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The rematch of last year's finalists did not disappoint. NU snapped UST's 5-match winning streak to secure its 7th straight win, proving why they're still the team to beat. Alyssa Solomon was on fire, dropping 24 points from 21 attacks and 3 blocks, while Bella Belen showed her all-around game with 19 points, including 14 kills, 3 aces, and a block. Vange Alinsug chipped in with 17 points and 10 excellent digs, while Erin Pangilinan added 12 points. Lams Lamina ran the offense with 33 excellent sets, and Shaira Hardio held the fort on defense with 20 digs and 25 excellent receptions. And you had to shake off a 2-1 deficit before flipping the switch in the 4th set. Then, in the decisive 5th, they came out swinging. A 4-1 run gave them control, and with UST fielding its bench late, Belen and Solomon sealed the deal. Reg Jurado led UST with 16 points, while Angge Poyos and Cassie Carvalho added 13 and 10 respectively. The Tigresses finished the first round with a respectable 5-2 record. These two teams won't have to wait long for a rematch though, as NU and UST face off again this Saturday at the Mall of Asia Arena. Barangay Ginebra pulled off a gritty 71-70 win over TNT in Game 2 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals, leveling the series at 1-1 in front of 12,925 fans at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. It was a game of bricked shots and tough defense, but Justin Brownlee delivered when it mattered most, scoring 35 points, nearly half of Ginebra's total, to carry his team through a rough shooting night. After blowing a 13-point halftime lead and falling behind 70-67 in the final seconds, Ginebra rallied behind Brownlee's clutch buckets and shut down defense on Ronde Hollis Jefferson, who struggled with a 6 of 23 shooting performance. TNT set some unwanted records, scoring just 4 points in the second quarter, the lowest in finals history, and managed only 19 by halftime. The frustration was clear as Poy Eram kicked team equipment in the locker room. Still, Reyna Bata, Calvin Oftana, and R.R. Pogoy kept TNT in the game with big shots down the stretch, but Ginebra's defense held strong when it counted the most. With Game 3 set for the Phil Sports Arena, expect another fierce showdown as both teams look to take control of the series. Nesthy Petecio just scored another major honor, but she's not done fighting. The Filipino boxing star continues to prove that women can excel in a sport long dominated by men, as she and Ira Villegas were named Athletes of the Year at the 2025 All-Women Sports Awards. 141 outstanding Filipino athletes, coaches.
Women out there, every challenge you face is a chance to grow stronger.
141 outstanding Filipina athletes, coaches, and sports leaders were honored by the Philippine Sports Commission through its Women in Sports program. Petecio, a silver medalist at the Tokyo 2021 Olympics and a bronze winner in Paris 2024, considered the achievement another dream come true. PSC Commissioner Olivia Bongko emphasized the importance of the awards night, calling it a celebration of progress for Filipino athletes. But for Petecio, the journey is far from over. With Los Angeles 2028 in her sights, she's locked in on her next challenges: the World Boxing Championships in Liverpool this September and the Southeast Asian Games in December, where she looks to defend her featherweight title. In the NBA, Luka Doncic dropped 33 points, his seventh straight 30-point game versus Phoenix, as the Lakers snapped their four-game skid with a 107-96 win. Austin Reaves added 28 points, 6 assists, while Doncic stuffed the stat sheet with 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. The duo combined for 61 points to power LA's offense. Jackson Hayes chipped in with 19 points and 6 rebounds, while Gabe Vincent hit 3 threes for 9 points. Dorian Finney-Smith came up big late with 10 points. Fast start for the Lakers. The Suns struggled early as LA took control and Phoenix couldn't find their shot. Reaves and Hayes ignited a 12-2 run with highlight plays as Doncic buried multiple threes to give LA a halftime 17-point lead. And then Durant sparked a rally. Then the Lakers responded. Kevin Durant dropped 14 third-quarter points to cut the deficit to a single-digit lead. But LA weathered the storm with clutch shots from Vincent and Reaves. Phoenix continued to struggle from deep, hitting just 12% from three-point land. Despite a 7-0 run and a technical on Luka Doncic, the Suns couldn't capitalize. Reaves and Finney-Smith closed it out as Reaves scored LA's first 6 points in the fourth quarter, while Booker picked up his 5th foul. Dorian Finney-Smith sealed it with a clutch 3 and a tip-in off a Doncic miss. The Lakers ended their losing streak as Doncic continued his ownership of the Phoenix Suns. Meanwhile, Portland snapped a 5-game skid in dramatic fashion, erasing a 16-point deficit to edge Toronto 105-102, powered by red-hot shooting from beyond the arc. Anthony Simons took over in the fourth quarter, scoring 12 of his 22 points and draining 4 of his 6 three-pointers. Tumani Camara tied his career high with 5 threes, finishing with 21 points in a breakout performance. Danny Advia delivered a well-rounded night with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, including clutch free throws with 5.1 seconds left to seal the win. Shaedon Sharpe also contributed 17 points. Toronto started strong but couldn't withstand Portland's second-half surge. Jakob Poeltl and Ochai Agbayi led the Raptors with 19 points each, while Scotty Barnes filled the stat sheet with 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals, including a highlight reel half-court pass for an alley-oop finish. Portland's 18 three-pointers proved to be the difference as they rallied late to complete the comeback and secure a much-needed win. And here are more results from around the NBA. Now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What does box mean in Formula One? The word box originates from the German term Boxenstopp, meaning pit stop. The phrase is repeated for clarity, ensuring the driver doesn't mishear it amid the roaring engines and intense race conditions. Pit stops are a critical aspect of F1 strategy, where split-second decisions on tire changes, wing adjustments, or damage repairs can make the difference between victory and defeat. Timing a box call perfectly can help a team undercut a rival, extend tire life, or react to changing weather conditions. A well-executed pit stop can turn an underdog into a front runner. Proof that in Formula One, races aren't just won on the track, but also in the pits. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. NU Lady Bulldog superstar Alyssa Solomon has officially pulled out of the Korean Volleyball Federation Asian Quota Draft, a decision driven by her commitment to National University's title defense in the UAAP. Multiple reports confirmed her withdrawal on Friday, putting to rest speculation about her international playing aspirations, at least for now. The move was necessitated by a strict UAAP rule that automatically classifies players who enter professional drafts as pro athletes. Now, under this rule, Solomon would have lost her amateur status and become ineligible to continue competing for NU. Faced with this choice, the reigning UAAP Finals MVP and best opposite spiker decided to prioritize her final season with the Lady Bulldogs over a potential stint in the Korean V-League. With Solomon out of the KOVO draft, while Solomon's dream of playing overseas remains alive, she has previously stated that she has other options should her Korean volleyball bid not materialize, though she has yet to reveal any specific plans. Now, if she decides to enter the PVL rookie draft after her final UAAP season, she is expected to be a top prospect, likely alongside her teammate and reigning UAAP MVP, Bella Belen. Of course, NU fans can now breathe a sigh of relief as Solomon and Belen have already confirmed that this season will be their last run in the UAAP, making their upcoming matches even more significant. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 17th of March. Up next, get to know how Lions Nation MMA is gaining ground with Gibran Langbayan. So watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. The Lions Nation MMA stable is home to one championship strawweight king, Joshua Pasio, and Filipino MMA icon Edward Folayang, who is a be-medaled and world-class amateur wushu fighter whose stand-up skills were among the world's most lethal. Recognizing their need to be adaptive, multi-dimensional fighters, they have been working on their jiu-jitsu skills as well. Get to meet Gibran Langbayan and know how he is steadily helping these Lions gain ground. For this episode on The Scorecard, we will be speaking to a very instrumental figure in the success of the athletes who compete representing Lions Nation MMA. We have with us Coach Gibran Langbayan.
Hello. Bilyonaryo lahat.
Paano ka ba nag-start sa larangan ng mixed martial arts? Did you used to compete before and how did you get into coaching?
So, nag-start ako, nag-train mixed martial arts dati. And then, may full-time job kasi ako sa nurse sa
Okay.
Hindi ko nakapay oras training ng sa training ng mixed martial arts, sa training ng jiu-jitsu at saka sa workout ko. Yung ginibap ko doon yung mixed martial arts, tapos nag-focus na other jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So, from 2013, commit ako sa jiu-jitsu connection sa radyo kinopik.
Okay.
2003, ito umuwi ako sa Pilipinas na tawag ko na ngayon sa team si Badero.
Okay.
So, sumaya kinakayo report sa Lights Me.
Okay. So, tiga Baguio po talaga kayo, Coach?
Oo, sir. Sa Benguet po.
Benguet. Okay.
Kita mo the province.
Okay. Now, during this time na you're working abroad as a nurse, anong bansa pala yon?
Sa Bahrain, sir.
Bahrain. Okay. syempre, sinusundan mo naman yung mga careers nila. Edward Folayang, Kevin Belingon, Joshua Pasio. You've been watching them. Okay. Naisip mo ba na balang araw, ikaw ay magiging coach sa coach nila mismo sa jiu-jitsu?
Hindi. Yung role ko lang talaga doon is since yung talagang kulang sa amin doon sa taas is iba pang team ng jiu-jitsu team. So yun basic ko na magputat ng additional na jiu-jitsu team sa Bati. Okay, pero hindi ko maisip na mababasama ko sa kanila.
Now, Edward Folayang was telling me that you are a great addition to Lions Nation MMA for the reason that they're known for their striking. So, to become more well-rounded MMA athletes, they needed your help kasi syempre, jiu-jitsu, yun na yung ground. So, paano naman nangyari na nag-usap kayo ni Edward na okay, mag-join forces kayo at kasama ka na ngayon sa Lions Nation MMA?
Baka si Honorio Banario.
Ayun.
Si Honorio Banario kasi
The Rock.
Long time friend.
Okay.
Gabi katanig ko.
Okay.
Parang siya yung nag-connect sa amin.
Okay, I see.
Ayan. So, nag-visit sila 2022 sa 23 pa. 23 sabi na, pwede bang maki-join them sa trade? Yun lang yung sinabi nila. Pero sabi ko, open naman sa lahat ng team. Sino yung gustong sumali sa training, open tayo sa lahat. Yan. And then, wala pa doon yung plano nila. So, parang sinabihan na lang ako ng plano nila mapatay ng. So, yung mga months na training kami is, parang yun lang. Training lang kami as casual day. And then, parang yung nakon-decide silang apat is sinabihan ako na gusto mo bang sumali sa Harvey? Hindi, sabi ko, why not? Wala naman akong ibang team na kung saan ako nakakumik. Kaya sila yung unang mensahe sa akin. Kaya sino ko ba naman katangin? I invite tayo.
Okay, Coach. Pag-usapan naman natin yung laban ni Joshua Pasio sa One Championship 171 against Jared Brooks. First round, more than 4 minutes, Joshua Pasio was on his back. Ito ba yung sabi ni Joshua, everyday naman, nagte-training kayo? Kumpiyansa ka ba na hindi masosolve ni Jared itong si Joshua even when he was on his back for majority of that first round?
Oo. Kasi halos lahat yung napunta nila sa Asia Chris, dinada namin na paulit-ulit. Inulit-ulit namin yung mga possible na positions talaga. Pwede niya no-contact. Exactly talaga. Doon siya napunta. So, confident lang ako doon. Saka maganda yung positioning nila kasi malapit sa amin. Kaya naririnig nila yung mga sigaw namin.
Ano yung mga sinisigaw mo, Coach?
I-remind ko lang naman siya yung TBO, yung butterfly niya, yung panganer. Huwag sana siya mag-flat sa back na.
Okay.
And nag-usap naman kami after ng laban. Sabi niya, naririnig ko kayo, sorry.
Okay.
Matalas yung pandinig ni Joshua.
Ito, Coach, yung second round, nagulat ka ba na natapos na nung second round? Kasi sabi ni Joshua, he was preparing for 5 rounds.
Hindi lang pa rounds yung pinagahanda. Mahigit sa 4 round yung iba-ibang tao bubog sa akin. Yung nagulat talaga ako nung sumimba si Jared tapos sinalo ni Joshua tapos tinulak na tumba siya. Hindi naman ganun siya. Sabi ko, baka siguro napagod rin na first.
Napagod na yung arms sa
Kasi umiga siya dun Si Joshua na lang yung pusang bumaba at nag-initiate sa ground and palm. So,
wow.
Doon ako na-surprise baka nasaktan si Ross. Ako nang engagement din na niyo.
Okay. Pumunta naman tayo sa laban ni Kevin Belingon. Do you feel that panalo si Kevin sa laban na yun against Bibiano?
In terms sa Danny, panalo siya. Kitang-kita naman pila yung isa nung in terms sa submission attempts, dun kami nagtaas. Even lahat yung sa scorecard sa tatlong referee, siya naman yung meron submission attempt na which is dapat binigyan siya dun na advantage. Kasi lahat ng tatlong judges, nilagay na even yung score doon.
Okay.
Siya lang naman yung nag-attempt doon ng isa ring Imo na nag-escape naman agad si Gibran.
Okay.
Which is bigay yung category na yan sa kanyang record.
Ngayon naman, punta tayo kay Edward Folayang, making his comeback this year. Kamusta naman yung pag-iensayo nyo ni Edward? How is his jiu-jitsu game now?
Yeah. So, halos pa, sabay-sabay silang nag-improve naman kasi sabay-sabay kami atang training. So, yeah. Yung game plan kay Jarin Brooks, kay si Bibiano, and then sa upcoming na fight nila ni Ayokis, halos parehas na. Halos parehas namin. May kunting idadagdag lang tayo dun ano yung mga reset na game ni Ayok. Pero halos parehas lang yung gagawin nila na adjustment from sa kanyang andon sila sa ground.
Coach, since you are training with Lions Nation MMA, sino pa ba yung mga ibang athletes dito na dapat nating abangan this 2025?
Ang dami nila. Or mga super athletes. Tapos yung kabandaan sa kanila is madali silang maganda.
Okay.
Madali silang matoto. Yeah. Sana dyan, abangan natin si Steve Lumar. Sinabi ni Boss Catway na siya may susunod.
Wow.
Anak, lang natin yung kailan niya. Yun, upcoming fight ni Jerry Pacatio. Nasa top 5 na rin siya. Yan, isa rin mabilis na matuto ng technique. Si Danny Kingad.
Yun, Danny Kingad.
Tapos yung mga upcoming fighters natin sa Combat League din. Yan, si Aaron Pusawan, si Denver Smagat, yung champion na si John Servo. Tapos may mga second generation pa. Madami silang na-apply. Kanya-kanyang batches la.
Okay. Last question, Coach.
Yes, sir.
For 2025, ano yung pinakamalaking goal ng Lions Nation MMA?
One year natin is makuha sana natin mga naka-line up na laban na pilak. Makuha sana natin lahat yung mga panalo. Siguro. Kahit anumang paraan yung masama na sila. Kahit exhibition or knockout or decision. Makita natin yung mga improvement ng kanya-kanyang mga athlete kasi iba-iba yung style din nila. Although strikers yung paramihan pero iba-iba pa rin yung style nila. Parang na ina-adapt din ng panilang laro. So, yun yung isang mahirap na bakahin kasi iba-iba. Sinadang Pusko. And, ayun, at para yung mga nakaline up dito sa mga local competitions sa madagdagan din yung mga champions natin.
Ayan. Coach, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat.
It was nice getting to know you and all the best sa'yo at syempre sa Lions Nation MMA moving forward.
Yan.
All right. When the scorecard returns, we will look into the NBA's top 3 trade targets. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Predicting every NBA team's top 3 off-season trade targets. That is the topic for tonight. All right, the trade deadline may have passed, but you know how this league works. There's no such thing as a true off-season in the NBA. Front offices are already laying the groundwork for their summer moves, and the draft and free agency are just months away. So, let's break it down team by team, looking at the top 3 trade targets they will be circling when the offseason kicks into higher gear. Simulan natin sa Atlanta Hawks. They are historically cautious about paying the luxury tax, and with key free agents like Clint Capella, Caris LeVert, Larry Nance Jr., and Garrison Matthews, their flexibility depends largely on who they decide to retain. Now look, the Hawks are stuck in a weird spot. Do they double down on Trae Young, or are we finally approaching the inevitable breakup? Assuming Trae Young stays, Atlanta needs to figure out its front court. They could just roll with Onyeka Okongwu, but if they want to add a true full-time center, guys like Claxton, Gafford, or even Time Lord make sense. Keeping LeVert would help balance the wing rotation, but that massive $25 million trade exception is screaming to be used. Just depends on how deep into the luxury tax or the tax ownership is willing to go. Spoiler, probably not very deep. Ngayon naman, pumunta tayo sa Boston Celtics. The Celtics are on a potential back-to-back title run, so let's be real. They're not really gonna make any seismic changes. The bigger question here, though, is Al Horford. He'll be 39 years old next season, but the guy still matters. Boston probably wants to bring him back on a manageable deal, but they'll also need some kind of contingency plan at backup center. Cornet has been solid, but if he gets a bigger offer elsewhere, Boston might have to pivot to an under-the-radar big like Hook Porty or Jalen Williams. And let's not forget, the Celtics have been shedding salary here and there. Now, if they don't love Xavier Tillman Sr. as an option, expect more tax-saving moves. Now let's go to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are a complete wildcard this summer. They have a ton of cap room and multiple paths to take. They could swing big in free agency, play facilitator in salary dumps, or just straight up embrace the rebuild and start stacking picks. The biggest question, Mark, is Nick Claxton. Do they pay him or is he better used as a trade chip? Now, RJ Barrett, the idea of him coming to Brooklyn is interesting. Toronto might want to move his contract after committing to Brandon Ingram. Who knows? Brooklyn could be the team to take a flyer on him. And then there's the whole bad contract for assets game. Teams might start dangling guys like Terry Rozier. The Nets need talent, but they also need a plan. They need to see which direction they choose. While much remains uncertain, these early predictions give a glimpse of how teams might approach their offseason roster construction. With the draft, free agency, and trade season all looming, expect plenty of momentum across the league in the coming months. Now, let's keep an eye and stay ahead of the game with a full lineup of NBA matchups tomorrow. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a Brazilian Formula One driver who won 3 world championships, who held a record 35 or 65 pole positions and won 41 Grand Prix over 11 seasons. Ayrton Senna once said, "Rain put the cars at the same level, but not the drivers." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.